Have you ever heard someone say, just get it from AppSource, and felt like you were supposed to know what that means? I've been there. It sounds simple enough. An app store, right? But then you open it and suddenly you're looking at consulting services, Azure infrastructure, and templates, and you have no idea where to start. Here's the real problem. Microsoft has a lot of products, and I mean a lot. Years ago, finding the right one for your business meant Googling around, calling different vendors, signing up for trials that didn't work, and burning a ton of time. There was no single place to go. That's exactly what AppSource is supposed to fix. By the end of this episode, AppSource will actually make sense. You'll know what it is, what kinds of things live there, and why it's way more than just an app store for Outlook plugins. It's much bigger than that. We'll break it into the three types of offerings you'll find: how they connect to Dynamics 365, Power Platform Azure, and Microsoft 365, and then we'll tackle the common myths and best practices. So let's start with the most basic question. What exactly is AppSource? What AppSource actually is. AppSource is Microsoft's online marketplace for business solutions. Think of it like a mall, but instead of selling clothes or electronics, every store sells software, services, and templates that work with Microsoft products. And that's the simplest way to picture it. Here's an important distinction. This is not for consumer apps. You won't find games, media players, or photo editors. Everything on AppSource is built for organizations, small business, enterprise, nonprofit. If it's on AppSource, it's meant to solve a business problem. Now, here's something that catches people off guard. In September 2025, Microsoft unified AppSource and Azure Marketplace into a single platform called Microsoft Marketplace. That means when you go to AppSource now, you can also find Azure infrastructure solutions and consulting services right there in the same place. It used to be two separate stores, one for business apps, one for technical infrastructure. Now it's all one. The scale is pretty impressive. As of 2026, there are over 19,000 solutions on the platform, spanning more than 150 countries. That's a lot of options, which is why knowing how to navigate matters. But before we get into navigation, let's understand what those 19,000 solutions actually are. Those 19,000 solutions break down into a few clear categories. Let's look at the three big ones. The three kinds of offerings. Welcome to another episode of Microsoft Knowledge Nuggets. I'm Mirko Peters. Today we're breaking down AppSource. Let's start with the three kinds of offerings you'll find. First, apps and extensions. This is the category most people know. Full SaaS applications like a finance tool built on Dynamics 365, or small add-ins that extend what you already have. Think of a Gmail to Outlook migration tool. It's not a new system, it just fills a specific gap. Apps and extensions are the bread and butter of AppSource. That's what most people come looking for. Second, consulting services. This one catches people off guard. You don't just buy software, you can hire a Microsoft partner to help set it up. Workshops, assessments, implementations, training. A real example would be a Dynamics 365 sales implementation workshop or a Power Platform adoption assessment. These are services, not software, but they're listed right alongside the apps in the same marketplace with the same trial and purchase flow. Third, templates and data services. Pre-built solutions for common business scenarios. Industry-specific templates for healthcare, retail, finance. Remember that patient feedback app I mentioned? That's a template. You take it, customize it for your clinic, and deploy it with no coding from scratch. Data services work a little differently. They're enriched data sets you can pull into your applications, like demographic data or industry benchmarks. So why does this matter for a business buyer? Instead of hiring a developer to build a custom solution from scratch, you can often find a ready-made template that does 80% of what you need. Or find a partner who has already implemented the same solution for 10 other companies. That saves time, saves money, and reduces risk. You're not reinventing the wheel. You're standing on someone else's shoulders. And that's what you'll find on AppSource. But what Microsoft products do these connect to? Let's start with the biggest one, Dynamics 365. How it connects to Dynamics 365. Dynamics 365 is Microsoft's suite of business applications, ERP, CRM, that whole world, and AppSource acts as its extension store. You can add address verification, warehouse management, field service tools, all directly from within the Dynamics interface or through the web browser. No hunting for a separate vendor, it's right there. The extension model is what makes this work. These apps follow a low-code architecture. Install them without complex coding. Click a button, choose your environment, and it's live. You don't need a developer to wire things up. You don't need to modify your core system. It's an extension, not a replacement. Here's a real example. Imagine a company using Dynamics 365 Sales. They want a tool that automatically enriches leads with company data from LinkedIn. So they go to AppSource, search for a lead enrichment solution, find one that works, install it, and it integrates seamlessly. The data flows into their existing sales pipeline without any custom integration work. Why is this a game changer? Because traditional ERP expansion meant long vendor negotiations, complex integration projects, and months of waiting. You'd call a vendor, negotiate a contract, schedule an implementation, test everything, and hope it worked. Now it's a few clicks. That's the low-code, no-code movement at work. It's making enterprise software as easy to extend as adding an app to your phone. Dynamics 365 is the big one, but AppSource also extends the Power Platform in a big way. We'll look there next. How it connects to Power Platform and Azure. So let's talk about the Power Platform. Microsoft calls it their low-code toolkit, and here's what that means in plain English. You build custom apps with Power Apps, automate workflows with Power Automate, create chatbots with Copilot Studio. AppSource is where you find pre-built solutions for all of those tools, ready to customize or deploy right away. Think of it like buying a kit instead of building from scratch. Let me give you a real example. Say a healthcare provider needs a patient feedback app. 20 years ago, they'd hire a developer, wait weeks for the build, test everything, then deploy. Now they go to AppSource, find a Power Apps template built exactly for patient feedback, customize it for their clinic, change the logo, adjust the questions, tweak the colors, and deploy it in hours. Not weeks, hours. That's what a pre-built template can do. Now, Azure is where things get more technical. We're talking infrastructure, virtual machines, databases, AI services. But here's the thing. On AppSource, these show up in a business-friendly way. You're not searching for Kubernetes cluster configuration. You search for AI document processing and find a managed app that runs on Azure, handles the infrastructure for you, and shows up with a clear price and a trial button. The technical complexity stays hidden behind a simple listing. This is where the unified marketplace really shines. You can go from a Dynamics 365 add-in to a Power Automate workflow to an Azure VM all in the same search with consistent billing across everything. No need for 3 vendor relationships. No need for 3 procurement processes. One place, one invoice, one relationship with Microsoft. AppSource also reaches into Microsoft 365, Teams, Outlook, SharePoint. Let's see how that works and how it connects to Microsoft 365 and Teams. Here's something worth knowing. There are over 400 million Microsoft 365 users worldwide, and all of them can find AppSource apps from inside Word, Teams, Outlook, SharePoint, and the Admin Center. You don't need to leave the app you're already working in. The marketplace comes to you. Let's break down what that looks like. Teams apps are probably the most visible example. You've seen them. Project management boards that appear as a tab inside Teams, polling tools that show up in a chat, compliance checkers that run as a bot. These aren't separate websites you open. They live inside Teams right where you're already working. Then there are Office add-ins. These are tools that appear in the ribbon of Word or Excel. A document signing service, a translation add-in, a data visualization tool. They show up as a button in your toolbar. Click it and it works inside your document. No switching windows, no copy-paste. Now this is where AI comes in. As of 2026, there are over 20 million paid Microsoft 365 Copilot seats. That's a lot of people using AI inside their daily workflow. Many AppSource listings now offer Copilot plugins, extensions that bring AI capabilities directly into the flow of work. Instead of opening a separate AI tool, you get a Copilot plugin that summarizes your emails, drafts responses, or pulls data from your business systems, all from inside Outlook. That's the direction things are heading. That's the what and the where. But how do you actually get these solutions? Let's talk about the marketplace mechanics. The marketplace. Mechanics. Trial, buy, co-sell. So how do you actually get these solutions into your hands? Let's break it down, because the process is simpler than you might think. You find a solution you like, look for the free trial button right on the listing page. Click it, sign in with your work. Microsoft account, not your personal one, your work one. Choose the environment you want to install it into, and it deploys. No credit card needed for many of them. You can test drive a solution before spending a single dollar. That's huge when you're evaluating enterprise software. It lowers the risk of trying something new. Now, if you decide to buy, that's where transactable offers come in. These are listings where you can purchase directly through AppSource using your existing Microsoft billing agreement. No separate invoice, no new vendor setup. It all goes on the same bill you already pay for your Microsoft services. And here's the part that surprises many people. Those purchases can count against your Microsoft Azure consumption commitment, or MAXI. That's basically pre-committed spending that you get discounts on. So if your organization has already committed to spending a certain amount with Microsoft, buying an AppSource solution can eat into that commitment instead of costing extra. That's a huge incentive for enterprise buyers. Then there's co-sell. This is probably the most powerful feature that most people don't know about. If an offering is co-sell eligible, Microsoft's own sales team can recommend it to their customers. Think about what that means. You're a small software vendor with a great solution. Normally, you'd have to build your own sales team, your own pipeline, your own relationships. But with co-sell, Microsoft's thousands of field sellers become an extension of your sales force. They're already talking to customers every day. They already have trust. They can recommend your solution alongside Microsoft's own products. That's a massive distribution channel that most partners underutilize. And for the more complex deals, there are private offers. Independent software vendors can create custom pricing deals for specific customers within AppSource. So instead of sending quotes back and forth over email, the whole thing happens inside the marketplace. The customer sees the custom price, accepts it, and it goes through the same billing flow. No friction, no procurement headaches. All this sounds great on paper, but there are some common misconceptions that trip people up. Let's clear those up. Common myths and mistakes. First myth: AppSource is just for Microsoft products. I hear that one often. But it's not true. AppSource is a marketplace for third-party solutions that work with Microsoft products. Independent software vendors publish there. In fact, the vast majority of listings are from specialized firms you've probably never heard of, tools built for specific industries or business functions. Microsoft's own products are in there too, but they're not the main attraction. The real value is the ecosystem of partners. Second myth. Once I install an app, I have to keep it forever. No, you can uninstall just as easily. The extension model means no permanent changes to your environment. If it doesn't work for you, remove it and move on. No data lock-in, no migration project, no sunk cost. That's the great thing about this model. It lowers the risk of trying new things. Third myth. AppSource and Azure Marketplace are different. They used to be, back when they were separate storefronts for different audiences. But as we covered earlier, Microsoft unified them in September 2025. One listing can now appear in both. So if someone tells you they're different, they're working with outdated information. It's all one marketplace now. Now for the folks creating listings. A common mistake: poor visuals, walls of text, and outdated descriptions. One expert put it bluntly: don't set it and forget it. You can't publish a listing in 2021 and expect it to still work in 2026. Microsoft changes product names. New competitors emerge. Customer needs evolve. The advice is to review your listing quarterly. Is it still accurate? Is it still relevant? Does it still look professional? If not, update it or take it down. A stale listing hurts your credibility more than no listing at all. So now you know what AppSource is, what you can find, and how it works. Let's wrap it up with a big picture synthesis and your takeaways. The big picture and aha moment. So here's what I want you to hold on to after all of this. AppSource is not just a storefront, it's a system. Think of it like the App Store on your phone, except instead of one device, it covers your whole business tech stack. You don't open the App Store just to buy one thing. You open it because it's the front door to everything your phone can do. AppSource works the same way for your Microsoft investment. The real aha moment comes when you realize it connects Dynamics, Power Platform, Azure, and Microsoft 365 in one single search. You don't need to know which product category your solution lives in. You don't need to figure out the difference between a Power App and a Dynamics extension. You just describe the problem you're trying to solve, and the marketplace surfaces the right answer, whether that's an app, a service, or a template. And this is where the magic of everything working together really kicks in. Picture this: you're working inside Teams and you think, I need a better way to track customer feedback. You search AppSource from right there inside Teams. You find a Power Apps template built for exactly that. One click and it deploys to Dataverse. Then you realize you could make it smarter with AI sentiment analysis. So you search the same marketplace, find an Azure AI service, add it to the same solution, and pay for everything through your existing Microsoft billing. One search found it all. No leaving your workflow. One invoice covers it. That's what a unified marketplace does. It removes the friction between spotting a need and solving it. Why does this matter to you? Maybe you're an IT pro trying to extend your stack without breaking anything. Maybe you're a business owner looking for a quick fix to a real problem. Or maybe you're a consultant helping clients navigate Microsoft's connected platform. Either way, AppSource is the front door. It's how you add to your Microsoft investment without starting from scratch. The solutions are already built. The partners are already certified. The billing is already set up. You just need to know where to look. All right, let's wrap up with 3 things you can actually do starting today. What you can do now. Here's what I want you to do once this episode ends. First, go to appsource.microsoft.com right now and search for your industry. Type in manufacturing and healthcare, retail, whatever fits your world. Just see what comes up. Look at the templates. Browse the consulting services. You don't have to install anything, just look around. That one step will show you how much is actually out there. Most people never take it because they don't know what exists. Second, if you're evaluating a solution for a real problem, use the free trial. No commitment. Pick something small, a reporting tool, a workflow automation, a data connector, and install it. Experience that one-click deployment yourself. Feel what it's like to go from I need this to it's running in my environment in under 5 minutes. That experience alone will change how you think about extending your Microsoft stack. Third, if you're a partner or an ISV building for the Microsoft ecosystem, make AppSource your go-to-market channel. But do it the right way. Use clear visuals, right for the customer, not your product team. Focus on their pain points, not your features. Update your listing every quarter. Don't set it and forget it. The partners who treat their listing as a living asset, not a static brochure, are the ones who get found, get tried, and get bought. AppSource is the most underused tool in the Microsoft stack. Now you know how to use it. Subscribe for more knowledge nuggets, and I'll see you in the next episode.